Hello YouTube. Currently I'm staying in the Netherlands, Delft. Small city. It's sunny outside. Maybe it's too bright to capture the proper photo from here, or proper video from here. A lovely sunny day. Still a bit cold, 9 to 10 degrees ish. Yet we are expecting the temperature will go up from tomorrow onwards up to 15, 16 degrees ish, which is not bad with the sunlight expected. So I think I'm gonna hang out and walking around the city of Delft tomorrow onwards. But today I'm gonna do some reflection because I went to London last week, and obviously I want to talk about it because many things I've noticed there while I was there. And the first things, most thing I want to talk about or I have noticed is obviously accent. They speak in London, and I have to be honest straight away about it because I was expecting the people in London speak London street accent like the one we associate with Cockney accent or Estuary accent we might hear in the movies, in the films, or on the internet. The kind of stereotypical London accent we associated with, but rarely, rarely we hear or I heard those types of accents in London while I was there. And partly or precisely, primarily because there are actually too many immigrants from all over the place or all over the world. In I have to say, which means the accents or languages I heard in London were either English spoken by non-native English speakers, so which is not definitely London local accent. Some foreign accents you might hear, I don't know, somewhere from the Middle East or Africa, wherever it is, or it's not even English language. Some other non-English languages you hear or I heard in London. Okay, that's the like a majority of the component of accents or languages I've heard in London. Of course, some portion of it I have heard English people speaking English, either talking to someone in the streets or talking to someone on the phone, which gave me some satisfaction or fulfillment or relief of like why I've been to London, because obviously I wanted to hear right what how they speak, how they talk English in London. But again, they are not the majority of people I've seen in London for some reason. Not for some reason, I think I can imagine because there are so many immigrants in London. So apparently, London has become much more international than I had imagined. And it is really hard, as I said, it is really hard to find like white English people in the streets, like randomly in the street, or to hear proper London English or authentic London English in London. And I have an example because I had been staying there for about a week, I suppose, 5 days, 6 days ish. So about a week, maybe less than a week. And one of the examples I have is when I went to a Japanese restaurant in London. First of all, the staff working there are not Japanese; they're all Chinese, and their English is not so great. Not authentic, proper London accent, just a word by word accent or word by word speech. Uh, um, I'm not imitating their impressions here because obviously I can't do it. But yeah, that's not what I expected, right? When you go to a restaurant, one of the restaurants in London, you might want to hear, but maybe because Japanese restaurant is not the correct choice. that I made there. Maybe I had to go to a proper British pub or something, but I was expecting a bit more authentic, like, English people there, at least, or Japanese people who live in London for some years, who have good English. But anyway, um, not, uh, having said that, I have to admit their communication at the restaurant, their communication was pretty good, and the customer service was amazing, and the food was really good. I ordered udon, which I was like had been craving for days, because I've been away from Japan for over a month already, and their food was good. But at the same time, just as I said, imagine my disappointment not seeing any Japanese at a Japanese restaurant, or not seeing any English people, or not necessarily English people, but not like any person who speaks the proper English or authentic English at the restaurant. That's a pretty disappointing. And this fact, maybe I'm exaggerating this fact into another, like, facets of life in London, but I can guess this means, like, this could happen all over in London. Like, let's say if you study in London at some college in London, and probably students or classmates you have come from, like, overseas, not from London, maybe some other parts of the world, with their own accents. So you cannot get authentic English accent there, even you're a student in London. Just imagine that you want to be immersed with London, authentic London accent when you're in London, but you can't get it in the first place. That's really, I think, frustrating if I were one of those people. Okay, so the conclusion of this discussion is, one, it's difficult to find proper English people, like, not necessarily white English people, but like English people who are very local, who speak not necessarily posh English. It doesn't have to be posh, just a, like, authentic local street language. It's also okay to me, because accents that I've heard in London while I was staying in London was more like a broken English. Obviously, they are not English people, just immigrants who speak English as second or third language. So, one, it's difficult to find proper English speaking people in London, and two, this is mainly for learners of English or residents of London. It's hard for them, them meaning learners of English, to, even they live in London. It's hard for them to master English accent, even they live in London, because it's hard to get yourself surrounded by, authentic English people, even if, again, even if you live in London. I think that's a situation I observed. I'm guessing here, obviously. Probably situation might vary depending on each person, or depending on the day. But I think that's the observation I want to make here. And also, I forgot to mention the kind of disclaimer. This is, my personal perspective while I was in London just for 6 days. So I might be wrong, and also, no no intention, no offense of someone or something. So me saying too many immigrants and not speaking proper English, that doesn't mean I'm against with immigrants or stuff. I'm just saying it because that's what I observe. I'm not against it. Okay, that's all from me today, and see you. Goodbye.